of my being in London. Today's Tuesday. It's like 11:30 in the morning. And so yesterday was 1 week being in London. First of all, it's incredible. I'm having so much fun. I'm meeting such cool people. I went to my first day of classes yesterday, which were great. I'm really excited for both of the classes. I think they're going to be really interesting, and I'm going to actually really enjoy them. They're actually both in the same room, so I really don't even have to worry about getting confused or lost, because I found it yesterday, and from here on out they're in the same room for the rest of the semester, so that's cool too. One less thing to worry about, getting lost. But naturally, for any of you guys that know me, and if anybody doesn't know me, I'm a huge car guy. Before that, I did dirt bikes, bicycles, skateboards, scooters, you name it. If it's got wheels and it's got action involved in doing it, like, that's my kind of sport. I came here hoping to buy a car simply because, my name's Slam Bureau Sam on YouTube, Instagram, everything like that, because I truly love everything European, car-wise and all that. So to come here is just literally a dream come true, and I wanted to buy a car. And I could afford to buy a car here. Surprisingly enough, I could buy just a little basic. I wanted one of these Nissan Micras, really tiny little small cars they have over here. Everything's a 5-speed over here, so that was sick. I could get one for 150 pounds, which is not even $200 in America, so could do that. The killer is insurance, though. I really was legitimately looking at buying a car, and then I started looking into insurance, and it was going to cost me more per month for insurance than it was going to be to buy the car. So, unfortunately, I'm not in the position to do that. So I was trying to figure out what to do. I can't imagine not having wheels, not having a way around, and not having something to have fun on, because that's honestly like my big thing. So some people might think it's a little irresponsible or a little like ridiculous to buy something kind of expensive or buy something like a car. And it is. I'm well aware. I won't disagree with you at all. But like that's just who I am and what I do. But without further ado, I will show you what I ended up spending on. I spent 150 pounds on this dirt jump bike. I honestly still don't fully understand what frame it is. I think it's a specialized, like a P1 or a P2. The kid I got it from didn't seem to know a ton about bikes. He said he bought some other parts that he gave me, rode it for like a week, and then popped his shoulder out twice in one day while riding, and decided to stop riding and put it up on this like weird app that's kind of like Craigslist, and that's where I found it. He originally had it listed for 250 pounds. I messaged him, told him I wanted it, but that I was from America and I didn't have any tools and I didn't have any like need for the extra parts, and asked him what his best price was, and originally he came down to 200. Then I told him I didn't want the parts, and he said, long story short, I talked him all the way down to 120. He agreed, and then I used my tube map and realized it was going to be almost a 2-hour like journey for me to get there on public transportation, or a 40-pound Uber to get there, and messaged him again and asked him if he would be willing to bring it to me, and he said sure, if I paid him 10 pounds for gas that he'd deliver it, which was sick to me, because I couldn't get there on public transport for 10 pounds, never mind come back with a bicycle. So like it all worked out. And then he also told me that he was just going to give me the rest of the stuff. So in the end, I ended up paying him 150 pounds, which in America is the equivalent of like not even 175 bucks. and I got the complete bike, an extra frame, which I'm planning to swap everything over to and run this frame, and an extra 120mm travel fork, long travel, like more of a free ride type fork. So I'm incredibly happy. I've already ridden it a bunch, and I literally got it last night at 7:30. But it's a ton of fun. A couple quirks to get used to. They run their brakes backwards, so your left hand, your left brake on the handlebar goes to your back brakes, whereas I'm used to in the US, it goes to the front brake. So yesterday, I took it for a test ride, telling this kid that I rode dirt jumpers, I raced downhill, and I jumped on it, and I grabbed a handful of this, thinking I was going to skid with the back brake, and here, the right brake is the front brake, and then I did a nice big endo right in front of this kid and his dad, so that was cool. But yeah, I mean, this bike is sick already, and now I'm going to, I haven't even owned it for like 12 hours, but I'm going to strip it down and swap everything over to this purple frame. A fully stripped down bike. Got everything taken off of this frame that I need, including my headset cups. Yeah, and then this frame, I'm going to take those pedals off, run the nicer pedals, and now I'm going to start swapping everything over. To this, and I'm so happy. Everything perfect and went wicked smoothly. The only thing I'm not a fan of is this stacked spacers, but I can cut the fork and tap the star nut down. I'm just gonna have to borrow a hacksaw from somebody or something like that. But yeah. It looks amazing. Everything seems to work the way it should. The chain didn't end up being a big deal. The seat looks sick. And yeah, I'm gonna go ride it. I'm so pumped. For 150 pounds, this bike is now worth like even 400 pounds here. I'd be willing to bet that I could sell this for 400 pounds here, comparing it to all the bikes on Pink Bike and all the sites that I was looking at to try to buy a bike. So I'm so excited. Now I have the old frame and that 120mm fork. My plan is to figure out getting a box for those, and I'm going to ship them to Max at home, and hopefully he can put a bike together and ride at home. I'm gonna have to figure out how to ship this thing back now because this bike is sick, and I don't want to leave it here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to ship this bike back home so that I can have it when I get home. But yeah, now I'm gonna go ride it. But just wanted to show you guys. 150 pounds, a little bit of elbow grease in terms of swapping everything over to this frame, but yeah.